Hey, what's going on? Jack Derganzu, Boogie here again, back for another update video. And it's been probably about a month since my last update video, and it's actually been a little bit over a month since my last YouTube video in general. I've just been really busy lately with my job, and I haven't had as much free time as I used to anymore. And also, me and my friends started working on a new short horror movie called Rabbit Hole 2. And I'm sure some of you guys are aware of our Rabbit Hole movie, and maybe even that we were planning on making a second one this summer, because I did just post a teaser trailer up for Rabbit Hole 2 probably a couple months ago up on my channel. And I've mentioned it a few times in my other videos, but me and my friends just started working on filming Rabbit Hole 2 yesterday, but we've been working on a lot of the post-production work for the past couple months, and we still have a lot of writing to do. We got to buy a lot of props and a lot of costumes, so just been with that plus my job, I've just been super busy lately, and I haven't had as much time to post videos up as much as I used to, but I'm hoping to get back on track with that a little bit because I love making these update videos, and I'm extremely excited to show you guys some of the stuff that I have in this video, because since my last video I've picked up a ton of stuff. I would say mostly Blu-ray steelbooks. Blu-ray steelbooks have been my new movie collecting addiction. I've just been completely obsessed with buying Blu-ray steelbooks, and I've picked up as many as I could since my last video. I think I have maybe about 15 or more to show you guys in this video, so I have a ton of Blu-ray steelbooks, but I also have some other Blu-rays. I have one other Blu-ray to show you guys. I have a couple DVDs and a couple VHS tapes, so I have a lot to show, and I don't want to waste any more time, so I'm just going to dig right in and start off with Blu-ray steelbooks. So first off here, I picked up a bunch of the Star Wars movies on Steelbook. As you guys have probably noticed, Walmart, Target, FYE, any movie store right now has all of the Star Wars movies on Steelbooks, all of the original Star Wars movies on Steelbooks, the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and I've been trying to pick them all up, and I'm missing one of them, so I have most of them right now, but I'll show you guys the ones that I did pick up. First up here, we have Star Wars and New Hope, also just known as Star Wars, or also known as Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And this is probably my all-time favorite Star Wars movie. This is just one of the most fun, cool science fiction movies ever made, and one of the most influential movies ever, so you can't go wrong with the first Star Wars movie. Next up here, of course, we have The Empire Strikes Back, the second Star Wars movie. I also really, really like this one. And these steelbooks are pretty cool. I'm actually not the biggest fan of the cover arts on these. I think they're decent enough for what they are, but I like the pictures on the back a lot more. I really wish that they used the back poster designs as the actual front covers for these Blu-ray steelbooks. But other than that, these are really cool. And that's actually it for the original Star Wars trilogy. I still need to get Return of the Jedi, which I'm planning on buying, either this week or next week. Alright, next up here we have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I just rewatched this one recently, and it was alright, but I can understand why it gets so much hate. I actually went into this one with an open mind. I was like, everybody hates this movie. I haven't seen it in like 6-7 years. I'm like, I want to check it out again and see if it's any good. And I had a decent amount of fun watching this. This movie is very nostalgic to me because it was the only Star Wars movie to come out in the 90s, and I was really young in the 90s, so I got caught up in the hype of this movie as much as you could. I had the toys, the candy, the posters, everything. I was definitely obsessed with Darth Maul too when this came out, so this is probably my favorite cover design out of all these. I just always thought the design on Darth Maul's face was very interesting, and it just makes for a really cool cover design on this. Again, with the poster on the back, I really wish they had used those posters on the front covers of these. I just think it would have made them a lot cooler. Well, this movie was alright, but really Jar Jar Binks, like everyone says, he just completely ruined this movie. He's just so annoying, and he's in the movie so much too. It's like, ugh. Like the minute the first like 10-15 of the minutes of the movie, I was like, this isn't too bad. I'm like, but then the minute Jar Jar Binks showed up, I was like, ugh. Jar Jar Binks, and he just wouldn't leave, and he was annoying for the rest of the movie. I'm sure all you guys know, though. But Star Wars Phantom Menace, let's move on here to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and I actually just rewatched this one last night, and I had a lot of fun watching this. I thought this was a pretty good installment in the Star Wars series. I would actually have to say I like this one better than Episode 1, actually a lot better than Episode 1. And then here we have Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and I actually haven't rewatched this one yet, even though I saw this movie when it came out in theaters, and I probably watched it a dozen times when it first came out on DVD, but I haven't rewatched this one yet, but I always liked this one. Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character, and even though I feel like it could have been done better, I still enjoy seeing Anakin's turn to the dark side. And then last, but certainly not least for the Star Wars Steelbooks, I actually went to Best Buy and picked up the Steelbook for the newest Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. And if you guys are also Steelbook collectors like myself and you are looking for Star Wars Force Awakens, it is a Best Buy exclusive. So you'll have to go down to Best Buy to pick it up, and it's a little bit pricey. It was about, I think it was $27.99, so this was almost $30, but this is one of my favorite steelbooks in my collection, and I love this movie. I hadn't seen this movie when it came out in theaters. I really wish that I did go and check it out. I regret it now more than I did when it first came out after seeing it and seeing how good it was, and I really just enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the new characters just as much as I did seeing the old characters come back, and I just thought this was a good movie. I'm really looking forward to checking out the new one when it comes out. All the new Star Wars movies look pretty good, actually. Alright, but I have a whole another stack of steelbooks here. That was just the Star Wars stuff. Let me make a little bit of room up here for some more movies. Alright, so let's continue on with the Blu-ray steelbooks. First up here, we have Shaun of the Dead. It's a pretty good horror comedy from the early 2000s. I've always sort of liked this one. Next up, we have Blues Brothers. It's one of my favorite John Landis movies, and just an awesome, awesome 80s movie. Just a really crazy movie, too. One of my favorite comedies. Right, next up here is Jurassic Park, the Steven Spielberg classic. This is probably one of my favorite Spielberg movies. And again, just like with Star Wars Episode 1, this movie is very nostalgic to me because I grew up in the hype of this movie. Everything was Jurassic Park when I was a little kid, so I had a lot of fun rewatching this. I actually rewatched this one a few weeks ago, and it's just a really awesome movie. It still holds up really well. Okay, and here is Terminator Genisys. And actually, I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but I actually really like this movie. Of course, not even close to as much as I liked the first couple Terminator movies, but I liked it better than Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation. I thought it was kind of fun what they did with kind of almost remaking parts of the first movie but changing it. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I like how they brought in some ideas from Terminator 2. I thought this movie kind of mixed some of the ideas from the first and the second Terminator, and in my opinion did something original with it, and I had a fun time watching this one. I think I'm probably going to rewatch this one next time I watch the first two Terminator movies. Pretty good stuff right here. Nice Target exclusive steelbook. I was going to say most of these steelbooks I pick up at Target, but I've been trying to buy a lot of them at Best Buy too, because Best Buy has a lot of exclusives, and speaking of that, this is a Best Buy exclusive. And this is for Martin Scorsese's film Taxi Driver, and this is one of my favorite Martin Scorsese films, and this is just an awesome, awesome movie. This movie had a big influence on the late 70s punk scene, which I'm a big fan of, and like I said, I think this is one of Martin Scorsese's best for sure. It's one of his first films too. Okay, next up for the steelbooks, this is actually sort of last for the steelbooks, and this is the Francis Ford Coppola movie, Apocalypse Now, and again, this is just a crazy intense movie. I would actually add this on my list of what I think are some of the best movies ever made. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this movie, but I just really appreciate this movie for what it is. It's just an amazing movie with an extremely crazy story, but it's just really well done. And of course you got Marlon Brando in this and Martin Sheen, just a classic movie. And this is an awesome steelbook. I found this one used at FYE. This comes with the theatrical cut and also the director's cut or the Redux. Really cool stuff here. Okay, next up, like I said, I don't have steelbooks to show, but these are pretty close to steelbooks. These are Target exclusives, I think, and these are called metal packs. And they're really close to steelbooks, but I picked a couple of these up too at Target. First off here we have Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the first Indiana Jones movie and my favorite in the series. And just really cool. I'm glad to have this movie on Blu-ray now because Harrison Ford is one of my all-time favorite actors. Next up here we have the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie, and I picked this one up actually because I was so impressed with his Star Wars movie. I figured I'd finally give his Star Trek movie a chance. And last for the metal packs is another J.J. Abrams movie, and this is Super 8. And I also picked this one up because I was so impressed with his Star Wars movie that I figured I would give his other newest movie, Super 8, a chance. Because I also really liked Cloverfield when it first came out, so I've always been interested in J.J. Abrams films, I guess. He's a pretty good director. Alright, but that was it for the steelbooks and the metal packs, but I do have one more Blu-ray left to show you guys. And it's actually a box set. It's a Quentin Tarantino box set, and it comes with some of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. This is actually just a cheap little box set thing that I saw at FYE. I think it was like $12 or $14.99 brand new, but I mostly picked it up because I was looking for From Dusk Till Dawn. I didn't have it on DVD or Blu-ray at the time when I went to go look for it. And they actually had, the only thing they had in FYE with From Dusk Till Dawn on Blu-ray was this box set. And it was only $12.99, so I figured I would pick it up. And it came with the 2 Kill Bill movies, which are my 2 favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. So just really happy to pick this up. It's a nice little box set. Comes with all 3 movies in separate cases. And a nice little holographic shiny slip case to put them all in. Really cool stuff here. Right, but that was it for the Blu-rays, but I do have a few DVDs to show you guys. Mostly horror stuff here. First off, we got a Midnight Movie 2-pack I've been trying to add to my Midnight Movie collection recently, and this is a pack that comes with Panic in the Year Zero, but the main reason I picked this one up because it comes with the classic Vincent Price movie, The Last Man on Earth, which is one of my favorite Vincent Price movies. And before I picked this up, I only had it on like one of those public domain budget DVD packs, so I only had a really shitty quality copy of it. So I'm glad to get a better quality print of that. It's one of my favorite Vincent Price movies. Next up, we got another 2-pack. This is from Warner Brothers. This is a horror double feature. Comes with Chamber of Horrors. And it also comes with The Brides of Fu Manchu. And the main reason I picked this up is because Brides of Fu Manchu has Christopher Lee in it. One of my all-time favorite actors. And I'm always on the hunt for more Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing movies. So really glad to find this one. Haven't watched either of these yet, though. Next up here is the Universal, the classic sci-fi Ultimate Collection. You can pick this up at Walmart right now, and I highly recommend picking this pack up. It has some classic 50s sci-fi movies, The Tarantula, The Mole People, The Incredible Shrinking Man, The Monolith Monster, and Monster on Campus. And the Walmart also has a Volume 2 pack of this right now, too, and I picked both up. Just some classic sci-fi stuff here. Really glad Walmart had these. Alright, next up here is the Invisible Man Legacy set, and I'm real excited that I picked this one up because actually now I have all of the Universal Monster Legacy sets on DVD, so I'm really happy about that because this Halloween, this October, I plan on doing a marathon, watching every single Universal Monster movie I have on DVD and VHS tape. It's been a while since I watched them all. Not since I was a lot younger in high school have I gone through and watched all the Universal Monster movies, so I'm real excited to get around to doing that this Halloween. But this Invisible Man collection is awesome. It comes with all of the Invisible Man movies, of course. We got the Invisible Man, the Invisible Man Returns, the Invisible Woman, the Invisible Agent, the Invisible Man's Revenge, and Abbott and Costello meet the Invisible Man. So, some awesome stuff here. Can't go wrong with these legacy packs. Then last for the DVDs here, I actually picked this up yesterday at a thrift store for $3, and this is the Anchor Bay DVD release of Don Carcerelli's classic adventure movie, The Beastmaster. I've always wanted to get this on DVD, mostly because it's an Anchor Bay release directed by Don Carcerelli. He also did the Phantasm movies, so I'm really glad that I found this one at a thrift store for a couple bucks, because I know that this DVD is kind of rare and hard to find because it's out of print. Good stuff, though. Really glad to find that one. Alright, and that was it for the DVDs, but last for this video, I have a few VHS tapes to show you guys, and I picked these ones up at a thrift store too, probably like a week ago. First off here, we have Dracula's Daughter, and this is part of the Universal Monster Classic Monster Collection that was put out on VHS in the 90s. They released all the Universal Monster movies in uniform looking releases like this with painted covers and the banner at the top and everything. I love these releases. I'm trying to collect them all, and each year I usually manage to find like 2 or 3 at a thrift store. Sometimes I get lucky and I'll find more than that, but these are some of my favorite tapes to collect. And last for the video and last for the VHS tapes is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies, They Live, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. And it's just a badass movie. One of my favorite movies that deals with kind of like a weird alien thing. Like in this movie, they put the sunglasses on, and when you wear these sunglasses, you can kind of see the world as it really is. And there's like aliens hiding amongst us. I guess one of my favorite like alien conspiracy theory type movies. I just think this is a really, really cool movie. You got Roddy Piper in here basically beating up aliens. So awesome stuff here. But alright guys, that was it for the update, and like always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.